Hi students, welcome back. This is Video 18. If you did not watch Video 17, stop here and watch Video 17 first. In Video 17, we read about Michael. We read about Michael's employment history. Remember, what does Michael do for a living now? What does he do for a living? What is his job? Do you remember? He is a medical assistant. He is a medical assistant. What did Michael do for a living in the past? What did he do? Well, before, he was a cashier, he was a bus person, and he was a student. Today, we will learn how to write about our own employment histories and our dream jobs. So we will learn to write about our own histories and our dream jobs. So let's get started. We are going to begin by checking the homework though. I gave you a short homework assignment and I want to go over those answers with you first. So let's get started. So, do you remember this homework assignment? It was at the end of video 17. I gave you a chart, and you have to look at the chart and correct the false information in the sentences. So, this chart is Paulo Fonseca's work history, his employment history. Okay, remember employment means your work or your job. So this is his work history, and it shows that he's had 3 different jobs. He was a server. A server is a waiter or a waitress, the person who brings you your food at a restaurant. He was a cook, and he was a bus person. So all his jobs were at restaurants. Okay, bus person, cook, server. And he had these jobs different years at different places, and he had different duties. So let's look at the sentences and see where we can correct the information. Let's look at the example. Number 1. Paulo works at Tito's Cantina. Okay, this is a hard one. This was a hard activity. Paulo works at Tito's Cantina. Well, works is in the present tense. That means he is doing that today. Okay, does Paulo work at Tito's Cantina today? Well, no. For present, meaning today, he works at Mom's kitchen. So, in the example, they wrote, Paulo works at Mom's kitchen, because that's what he's doing today, and they used a present tense verb. Let's look at number 2. He was a bus person in 2010. So when we look at the chart, we have to find his job in 2010. And I see from 2010 to 2012, he was a cook. He wasn't a bus person. So to fix number 2, we're going to write he was a cook in 2010. And you can see that I put the correction in green. So the correction is in green. The rest of the answer is in blue. Let's look at number 3. He clears tables now. Now look at that. We have clears tables. Again, they're using present tense. We've been working a lot with present tense or past tense in this unit. Now they're showing you he clears tables now. So let's look and see, is that what his duties are now, to clear tables? No. What does he do now? Well, now he serves food and talks to customers. Notice that both of those are verbs that end in S. So he serves food and talks to customers, both in S. Number 4, he prepared food in 2008. So look at the chart with me and look. What was he doing in 2008? Did he prepare food? In 2008, I can see he was a bus person at Tito's Cantina, and his duties were to clear tables. Okay, so in 2008, he cleared tables. He cleared tables in 2008. Let's look at the last one, number 5. He worked at Mom's Kitchen in 2009. So again, we're going to look at the chart and look for 2009. And in 2009, what was he doing? Was he working at Mom's Kitchen? No. Where did he work? Remember, where is a question about place. So where did he work? He worked at Tito's Cantina in 2009. So that was a pretty hard activity. Working on present tense and past tense can be very tricky, very hard. So it just takes a lot of practice. Okay, let's keep going. And look at this last example of an employment history. Okay, we're going to start in the present tense again. This is what Chisako is doing now. And then we will switch to past tense about what Chisako did in the past. Chisako is an orderly at South City Hospital. She started in 2011. She has many job duties. She helps the nurses and the doctors. She prepares rooms for the patients. She meets patients in the reception area. She also picks up and delivers x-rays and medical supplies. From 2009 to 2011, Chisako worked at Lucky's Supermarket. She was a cashier. She handled money and helped customers. So again, we find out what Chisako is doing now. That's at the beginning, and it's in present tense. And then we switch to talking about what Chisako did in the past. She was a cashier, okay, in the past. So that's in past tense. So now we're going to look at this interview. When you go to get a new job, many times you have to give an interview. They want to ask you questions about what skills you have, what things are you good at, and they will ask you questions about your employment history, things that you have done, okay? So this is an interview, and we are going to read the questions and then go over the answers. So the interviewer, the person asking the questions, says, "What is your job?" What is your job? Present tense. "I am an orderly," says Chisako. And the interviewer asks, "Where do you work?" It's a where question. So where does Chisako work? When we look back at the reading, it says South City Hospital. So where do you work? "I work at South City Hospital," says Chisako. And the interviewer asks, "What are your duties?" And Chisako replies, "I prepare the rooms for patients, meet patients in the reception area, and pick up and deliver x-rays and medical supplies." So those are her duties. Those are the things that she needs to do as part of her job. Let's keep going. Then the interviewer asks, "What job did you have before?" Remember before and after. Before means in the past, what job did you have? Okay, and Chisako, let's see, what job did she have before? I was a cashier. I was a cashier. Where did you work? Okay, again, a where question. So where did you work, and where did Chisako work? Do you remember? Can you find the answer in the reading? She worked at Lucky's supermarket. So Chisako's answer would be, I worked at Lucky's supermarket. Okay, so Chisako was a cashier, and now she is an orderly. She has had 2 different jobs, both with very different duties. Today, we are going to talk about our own histories because I want you to be able to write about what you do now in the present and maybe what you did before. Or you could also write about what you want to do in the future. So we are going to talk about those things right now. I know that all of my students, you are all homemakers and students. So now you are a homemaker and a student. You have 2 jobs, okay? Do you have another job? Some of my students also go to work outside of the home. Do you have another job? And if so, what is it? What is it? And what are your duties? So I want you to get out your notebook and write about what jobs you have now. You could write about homemaker, you could write about student, or if you have another job, you could write about that too. Write about your job and then write down some of the duties. You can pause the video to write down what your job is and then some of your duties. Did you write a few things down? So if you wrote down homemaker, maybe some of your duties were to clean your house, to prepare meals, to teach your children, to take care of your children, to get your children ready for school, to take your children to school, to give your children a bath, to go grocery shopping. There are so many things that homemakers do. If you wrote down student, maybe you talked about doing homework, going to class on time, listening to the teacher, asking questions, taking tests, studying for tests. You do many things as a student, okay? And if you had another job, I'm sure you had a long list of duties you do for that job too. So my next question for you is, did you have a job in your home country? What was it? And what were your duties? Now maybe you did not have a job in your home country. That's okay. Maybe you were a student in your home country. You could write about that. Maybe you were a homemaker still in your home country. You could write about that. I have had some students that maybe they helped take care of a brother or a sister's children. They were an aunt. Well, you could write about that. What is something that you did in your home country? Take a minute to think about it. Is there something that you did in your home country? Some of my students helped other women have babies. You could write about that. If there is something you did in your home country, take a minute to write that down in your notebook. I would love to hear about what you did before, in the past. So take a moment to write that down in your notebook and write down some of the duties. What did you do? What did you have to do for that job? Remember, this will be in past tense. In past tense. When you're ready, you can press play and watch the rest of the video. But for now, stop for just a minute so you can write down what you did before. And finally, my last question is, do you have a dream job? What is it? And what will your duties be if you get your dream job? This will be in future tense. We haven't talked about future tense that much in this unit. So this is your choice. But if you want to write about what you will do, then you can write about that here. I have many students who say, I want to be a teacher too. They think about maybe teaching in a preschool. Is that your dream job? Maybe you want to be a nurse. Maybe there's something else that is your dream job. I have one student who said, I want to open my own Ethiopian restaurant. That is her dream job, to be a cook and to own her own restaurant. So take a minute, and if you have a dream job, you can pause the video, stop for just a minute, and write down what your dream job is and what you think your duties will be. So here is your homework. Your homework is to take the list of things you wrote in your notebook and to write a paragraph about your job today. That could be homemaker or student or something else if you have another job. And write about a job in the past. If you did not have a job in the past and you want to write about a job in the future, you could do that too. But I want you to write 2 paragraphs. One about what you do today and your duties, and one about what you want to do or what you did in the past. So to practice, here are a couple examples. We are first going to look at my employment history. So here is an example of what you need to do. I am a teacher. It is my dream job. I started teaching last year. I have many duties. I have to take attendance, teach classes, assist students, and check homework. Before I was a teacher, I was a homemaker. I took care of my children and my husband. I cooked our meals and cleaned our house. I helped my children learn new things. So that is one example. Let's look at another example. This one, the first example, showed present tense and past tense. Now I'm going to talk about a dream job in the future. So here is number 2. I am a bus person. I work in a restaurant. I clear tables. I take the dirty dishes away and clean the tables. One day, I want to be a cook. So her dream is to be a cook. I will have many duties. I will buy food for the restaurant, cook meals, and make tasty desserts for my customers. So here is an example of what she is doing in the present and what she wants to do in the future. So again, your homework. I want you to write 2 paragraphs. One will be in present tense. Talk to me about what you are doing now, today. And then you can either talk to me about what you did in the past, or you can write about what you want to do in the future. It is your choice. Okay? So that is all for today. We are almost done with the unit. Can you believe it? We are almost done. So complete the homework and then go to video 19. Okay? I will see you in the next video. And if you want me to check your paragraphs, I would love to read them. You can take a picture with your phone and text message me. Okay? So write your paragraph, take a picture with your phone, and send me a text message. I'll see you later. Bye-bye.